live.
Okay, hi everybody. Will Faerber here, and we're with Ron and Darcy Branchini here, and we have somebody joining us today. This is Hanna, who's going to be our catch rider today for this horse. How's it going? I understand you've ridden him for this week, and how's it gone so far since you began this process? Let's see. I'm not hearing her.
Oh, this week
Can you hear?
it went well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Ron was explaining to me, kind of the principles that you guys use, and I use a lot of the same ones myself. Actually, when I was
Great.
much younger, I think I saw your clinic at Healing Rain Farm several years ago. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Great.
I was
Excellent.
a little bit younger then, but so
Well, we're all a little older now. You can go. Why don't you go ahead and grab your lunge whip there, so you have a lunge whip to work with. Well, he looks nice and energetic starting off here today. Just let him stay in that walk for a moment, if you will. Okay, good. I'll just let him keep walking for a moment. If we can get him to stretch in the walk before we start the trot, is always good. Good. Oh, he has a really nice active step today. Warming up a little bit may have helped him a bit since the last time I saw him. Always hard when it's freezing cold to get them to come out and just relax. Now keep taking the slack out of that line. So we kind of never want to see the line on the ground, if you will. So if you have to just take up a little more of it, good, or send him out away from you to take up the distance. Because we want to be able to make contact with him. So an unbroken line, just like when we ride, if there's a big slack in the line, it's hard to get contact. Not that when I say contact, I'm meaning just the weight of the rein between you and the horse. I'm never meaning that we want to have tension in our hands or hold the horse in our hands. Keep this going. Like this walk today is very good. Starting off. Now, try to get there like that so he stretches down. So when he's not stretching down, you want to take a little more contact, take that slack out of the line, and just try to push his hindquarters a little bit to the outside, keeping him active to get him to engage that inside hind leg. Good. Much better. And you can go ahead and ask him to trot. And of course, in the beginning, we're just looking for him to stretch all the way down.
Good boy.
There we go. Good boy. I like that. Good. Now go ahead and walk for a moment. The side reins are a little bit too short for the beginning. So go ahead and stop him and lengthen those out, maybe 3 or 4 holes on either side. Give him a little more leg. So if he goes down and can't stretch in the beginning, we want him to be able to stretch all the way down, get his neck all the way out. And then we'll start bringing him back up. But we always want to get that first.
Do you want us to take the reins off first? Because he's got reins on plus the side reins. Maybe that's keeping him from putting his head
Yeah,
down.
why don't you just take those off? I think it's less restrictive.
So you
less
reins off.
So. Yeah. He's used to having them not there, so he might be a little reluctant to stretch into them with those wrapped up like that. Great. All right. Give that a try again. Good there. All right, now it's going to trot. All right.
Say that again?
I just was asking you, just go ahead and ask him to trot. It's good. Yes, there we go. So now he has a little more freedom. He can stretch down a little deeper. Like that. That's what I want to see. So if he were to stretch down and his face comes behind the vertical, we know that they're too short, which it was on the verge of that before. There we go. Like that. Very nice. I'll just keep that going for a moment.
Good boy.
Very nice. Right there. That's what I'm looking for. Keep that.
Good boy.
Very nice. Keep that going.
Good boy.
I'm sure Ron's told you about this horse's history. He was very reluctant to move.
Yep.
So that's what we've been working with him since day one. He had just been, I think, beat on too long. He had finally just checked out on the people that used to own him.
Good boy.
Yeah, that's really good. Like that. That's what we're looking for. So now notice he stretches down now. He can stretch into the contact, but his face isn't coming behind the vertical. So that tells me we've got enough stretch in there. That's good. Like that. And we're starting to see a good swing on the diagonal pairs.
Yeah, good boy.
Looks very good this afternoon. I'll just keep that going for a moment. We're looking for that just to become consistent. Very good. Keep that right there. That's what I'm looking for. See if you can ask him to make the trot just a little bit bigger, just to see what happens. We ask him for a little bit more, see if we can get a little more spring. Good. Very nice, like that. So once that starts to get consistent, then we can move on.
Good boy.
Very nicely done. Now ask him to canter.
Canter. Oh.
Right, he'll change. There you go. Very nice. Keep that. That's what I'm looking for. So we're looking for that same kind of stretch in the canter here. The neck comes out long.
Canter.
Go let him trot again. Like that trot right there is really good. And go ahead and ask him to canter again.
Canter.
Just let him come through behind.
Trot.
And back to the trot again.
Good.
Good.
Yeah, good boy.
And ask for the canter again. Really nice trot. Really nice
Canter.
trot right there.
Oh. Nicely change.
Just let him change through. That's all right. You can keep going. Good. Keep that going.
Good boy.
Yeah, good. Getting there. Keep going.
Good boy.
And let him come back to a trot again.
Ooh, trot. Ooh, trot. Good boy.
Excellent there. And just let him stabilize the trot again. Good. Really good there. Really nice trot. And let him walk.
Ooh, walk. Ooh. Good boy.
Very nice. And you can halt and change directions.
Ooh.
Well, you can go ahead and let him trot. Just go ahead and ask him to trot. That's all right. We can come back to the walk. Since he wants to move today, let's keep him doing that.
Good boy.
Good, that's more like it. Good there, keep that. Very nice.
Good boy.
Good, right there. Very good. And ask him to canter.
Canter. Ooh.
And ask him back to a trot again.
Trot.
Now try when you ask him to canter to have a little contact with your rein so he's not pulling his head to the outside.
Okay.
If you come to the next rail, try again, but have a little contact with the little rein so he doesn't pull his head to the left. Almost. There you go. Now you got it. Good. Like that. Just keep that going for a moment. He starts to stretch his neck out forward. Good. It's getting better. Let's keep it going for a moment. And let him come back to a trot again. He's starting to get his neck out there a little bit. I want to go ahead and come back to the trot.
Ooh, trot. Good boy.
And back into that big stretch. Excellent. Right there.
Good boy.
And let him walk again.
Ooh, walk. Good job, boy.
Good warm up. And you can let him halt. And now we're going to move the side reins up to the D rings up on top. Or I think Ron might have a second pair there. Has he shown you how to do that?
So we just take these straps right here.
So this is a very good test. Whenever we're ready to start bringing a horse up, we never want to tighten the side reins on the side because that just really pulls the horse over. We want to have the side reins begin to imitate where our hands would be rather than on the side. So once the horse has learned to stretch into the contact, and we'll see if he's ready for a working trot. See if he'll go and proceed in the walk if possible. So you go ahead into a trot with him because I want this horse to want to move. So that's why I don't come back and insist on the walk right now, because this horse is all about getting this consistency of movement and his desire to move. Getting better. There you go. Good. Starting to be able to get there. We want to keep trying to yield his hindquarters just a little bit to the outside so he gets a little bit shoulder fore on the circle. Right now he's a little bit shoulders to the outside and haunches a little bit to the inside. So we want to switch that around a little bit. Not to a great deal, but enough that he engages that inside hind leg a little more. And keep that going. So anytime he comes up like that, that's when you want to bring him in a little bit and yield the hindquarters. So he begins to relax into the stretch, into the contact at that level. There we go. It's getting there. Good. Now it's getting there. Good. Very good. Keep that going. And once again, every time the head kind of comes up, you want to just have a little contact and push his hindquarters a little to the outside without upsetting him.
Good boy. Good boy.
Yeah, there we go. Good. That's what we're looking for. Very nice. Very nice and active there. There we go. Now we're starting to get a decent working trot. And of course, you understand that working trot means working over the back. That's what working trot means. A lot of people don't understand that. We see people, in hunter jumper people especially, tend to have these throwaway terms that they say, but they don't actually understand. And we also call it that because when a horse can develop a working trot, then we know they're ready to be ridden. Horses, if they can't do a working trot without you on them, you have very little chance of them doing it without you on there. With you on there, that is. Very nice. That's looking really good. Very nice, right there. Notice how relaxed the reins are now. That's how you would want them to be. The correct contact with the horse is just the weight of the rein between the two of you, with a sense of sort of a positive sense of contact, but not a pulling sense or a heavy sense, It should not be 5 pounds or 10 pounds or any of the other ridiculous things that people say about how rein should work. It should be the weight of the rein. If it's not the weight of the rein, then the horse is being punished. Nice, very nice. Right there, that's excellent. Yeah, really nice trot today. It's getting to a really good place. Very nice. Another circle. And ask him to walk. Nice, a nice downward transition also. Now keep the walk for a moment. Much better than what we had before we did the trot. Good. And you can let him halt and change directions. And keep that walk going if you will. And once again, taking the slack out of your rein and trying to just yield his hindquarters a little bit more. If he breaks into a trot, no big deal. Go ahead and let him trot this way. Like that. And this direction, once again, just trying to push his hindquarters a little bit out on the circle there so we get both ends on the same circle or a little bit shoulder forward, but never with the hindquarters to the inside. Actually, there's very little time that we ever want a horse to go haunches in. Certainly not at this level. Good, that's coming around really nicely.
Good boy.
Yeah, good. Very nice. That's the way.
Good boy.
Very good. Very nice. Keep that. Very nice. Yeah, exactly what we want to see. Really nice. Really nice big swing through his back. Notice the top line, the top of his neck, for instance, is now getting larger. We're not seeing any tension in the underside of his neck. Lifting off the ground nicely. And let him walk. Nice, and just let him walk for a moment there. Good. 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 And go ahead and halt, and I'm ready to put you up there. Very good. He looks good today. Good boy, Duke.
What's that? Covered.
Okay, if you're organized, you can start to walk. And of course, we're looking for him just to stretch out in this walk. And just start on a circle there. Is this fine? We begin to get him to stretch out. I like how active the step is for you there. There you go. Good. That's what I'm looking for. Very nice. Keep that. Good. Very nice. Now keep that. Every time he comes up, you just let your hands follow up. One big thing to remember is that holding your hands down low does not make a horse put its head down. When he brings his head up high, you should follow up with your hands, not by trying to hold them down. Then he will want to go into the contact. There you go. And go ahead and go large in the walk this time. And we'll turn by the center line when we get up to the other end there. Go ahead and go large this time. Just make another circle, so it'll be fine. So when I say go large, I mean to go around the entire arena.
Yeah.
Look at that. Good. we're going to go ahead and have your whip in your inside hand. We usually want the whip on the side of the predominant leg, which is usually the inside. We're going to turn by the center line here and do a leg yield to the right. Now, if I ask you to do anything that you don't understand, stop and we'll talk about it. I'll just... Back going. And now on the circle here, let him stretch all the way down again. Let's see if we can get him to stretch in this direction now. Good, there. Keep working that. So every time he comes back up, just take a little contact and soften him again. Try to get him to stretch back out in front of you again. Like that, good. Now go ahead and go large in the walk again. And we're going to do that leg yield again when we get to the other end. So once again, turning after or near the center line, whatever feels like a comfortable turn. This is a pretty small arena, so we don't want to try to force him. Turn there, good. Good. Now, while you're doing it, we want to keep softening him a little bit. That is, when I say soften, I mean working with his mouth a little. Never trying to force it over, but just keeping a contact, giving and taking a little bit like that till he starts to soften and lengthen the neck in front of him. And of course, we never want the neck to be bent more than the middle of the back. There's something to think about while we're doing this. Now go ahead onto your circle again. Try to ask him to stretch all the way down again. There you go, good. That's getting better. Go ahead and keep that on the circle for a moment. Good, there we go, like that. Good job. Stay up there, good. Good, now go ahead and change across the diagonal. Try and keep that stretch if you can. Good, there. And go ahead and turn by A, and again, leg yield to the left. Keep that going. Now try to let the shoulder stay in advance where it is right there. So we don't want the hindquarters to lead this exercise because then they start hitting their legs together. So where you have it right now is right. Let it keep going all the way to the rail if you can get it that far. And then once we get here again into a circle, letting him stretch all the way down again. Now, as he stretches down, and he does, a couple of times before he started to stretch and then you leaned over forward to kind of pet him on the neck. Don't do that. Stay up where you are so that he doesn't you don't disrupt his balance by letting your shoulders come forward at that moment, like that. Keep that going around your circle. Bring the body up. There we go. Good. And let him stretch on down. Ask him to soften a little more. Ask him to move off of your inside leg and put him just a little. When I say shoulder 4, I mean the shoulder's a little bit inside the hindquarters, which is just the beginnings of a shoulder in, if you will, or a leg yield, which gets him to engage that inside hind leg. So in the beginning, we're always working one side of the horse at a time until the horse gets really over its back, and then we can work horses in really straight lines. But in the beginning, we always have to keep using that inside leg when necessary, when they go hollow, in order to engage and get him to push the back up again. There you go. So you can get him to take it on down. Working with your fingers a little bit there. And once again, don't think that you need to keep your hands low. Let them come up a little bit. When he raises his head, raise your hands up with him rather than hold your hands down. When we hold our hands down, it makes the horse actually want to pull up against our hands. So we just follow up and ask with the leg. It's the leg that actually puts the horse round, not the hands. There you go. And try that again. Deeper into that stretch. There you go. Let him take it down. So all you have to do is just open your fingers. Don't let your upper body come forward as he starts to stretch. You want to stay just where you are. A little deeper. Keep working that till he stretches it all the way down. We get that really big step that we had, just like it was on the lunge line is what I'm looking for here. Really big step and a stretch. There you go. And again, so asking him to move off of that inside leg a little bit, put him a little more shoulder 4 when he pops up like that and he's kind of dropping his back on you a little bit. So try to move the hindquarters over and engage that inside leg again. There you go. Now let your lane slip so we can take it on down. But almost got it that time. Try again. There you go. Good. Like that. Very nice. That's what I want to see. Like that. Very good. Very good. Keep that going. Now, with this horse, of course, the issue is always his desire to move, especially when you put somebody in the saddle. So that's more important than anything else with him, is just the feeling that he wants to keep going. So now just staying on a circle where you are there, if you can. If you feel like you need to shorten your reins a little bit, that's okay, but we're going to step up into a trot now, and I want to see how he handles that. The walk is coming nicely here now. So let's go ahead and ask him to trot. With him, it's all about getting that freedom of movement, that he doesn't suck back on you. At the beginning. That good. And just stay on your circle till he starts to stretch. Keep your upper body up. More active, keep it going. There you go. Let him have that stretch in front of you. Just don't lean over. Keep yourself right there. As soon as he comes up again, just take the slack out of the reins, get him moving a little more actively again. Remember, the position comes from the motor, coming from behind, getting to swing through the back, like that. Good, like that. Good job, right there, right there. Keep that. Excellent now. Keep that. Keep yourself stretched up. Comes up, just shorten the reins again, but of course never taking the reins tight. Really good there, really good. Keep that, and again, ask again as soon as he comes up. Good, right there is what I want, keep that. Good, like this, good job, right there, good. Keep it active. This feeling going to stall on you. You're doing a good job here. Keep it going. See if you can tap him and get just a little more out of him. He may resist like that a little bit. In which case you want to just ask again without having to brutalize him or anything. Keep working that till we get a little more active. There you go, like that. Now go large. Now see if you can make a turn just past the center line and do a little bit of a leg yield in the trot now. Try not to have to slow him down to make your turn. A nice wide turn. That's why we don't worry about hitting the center line directly. That would be too small a turn for him at this level. And beginning to leg yield to the left. Right. And back on your circle here. Once again, stretch up. Give him a little tap and get him active again, head of your leg. And of course, we really want to have moments that once we get there, that we have moments where we do nothing at all. It's just for a couple of strides so we can feel this is what we want. Good. And again, like that. Good. Good job. And again. Good. Like this. Good. Keep that. Good. Good. Much better. Keep that. Every time he comes up, you know you have to re-engage the back end. There you go. Like that. Good now. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Now go large. Keep that. I mean, just continue around the ring, just the way you have them. You get around the ring just like this, that'd be great. Try not to bury him too deep. So feel a little bit inside range. You come to these corners, it's quite long. So what we don't want to do is put him straight into those corners and then he has to slow himself down. So we want to make nice wide turns. This is a big horse in a pretty small arena here, so we want to give him plenty of room. Like that. This is really good now. Excellent. Keep that right there. Every time he comes up, lift your chest up and just add a little leg and try to send him back into the bridle again. Like that. Doing a great job. Keep that. Good. Keep it going, just like that. Good. Very nice now. Keep that. Now, if you can keep that, after you get on the next long side, then I want you to shorten your reins and bring his pole up again a little bit, just a bit, and just beginning to shorten your reins. But if we find what we do with the reins kills the movement, then we have to go back to a deeper stretch. But that's pretty good. Now let your hands come together in front of you. In other words, think about how those side reins work hooked up there. You know, the best side reins, the best hands in the world work just like a pair of side reins. They simply limit the length of the rein more than they do anything else. And if you do everything else correct, the horse will come up underneath you. That is, if your training and all the preparation has been correct. Like that. Good, good, good. And if he wants to stretch on down, now go ahead and stretch him again. That's really good. You're doing a good job. Really nice. Keep that. Let him have the stretch all the way down. Now see if you can change across the diagonal. If he stays in the stretch, good. If he comes up a little bit, not too bad. But the main thing is try to keep him active as you make that change. And of course, change your whip into your new inside hand every time we change directions. And now on a big circle here, working him into the stretch on the circle again. And it's perfectly fine to use an open leading rein here at this site, and just letting your left hand come to the inside. This is beginner stuff, beginner horse stuff, I mean. Keep that active. You're doing a great job, like that. Every time he comes up, just soften him a little. There you go, good. Keep up. Keep that going. Now go large. Keep that. Doing a good job. Good. Now down the next long side, see if you can lengthen his stride a little bit. Think of it just going a little faster, keeping him in the stretch. So in this case, when we do this, we want to push our seat through a little bit. See if he can just open up the stride a little bit more. There you go, like that. Really nice. If he goes into the stretch, that's exactly what we're looking for. of stalling there a little bit, so stretch up and get him back ahead of your leg again. Once again, we can't do too much with our reins until he's moving. Is that going now? Good. Good. Very good there. Very good there. Keep that going. Power through the corner now. Very good. Now let's just shorten the reins a little bit. Once again, bringing your hands back together in front of you. Think about how it works when we lunge there. And we put those side reins up at the top. So kind of imagine that's what you're doing. You're just limiting the length of the rein and using your upper body and your legs to bring him through the power to the reins like that. Good job. Good job. Good. Right there. It's good. 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 Really good. Keep that. Really good job. Right there. Now come back to the center again. In the center, circle and stretch him all the way down again. On a circle in the center. Like this. Move him off of your inside leg a little more to the outside. There you go, like that. And again, ask him to stretch on the circle. Keep him moving off of that inside leg. Good, like that. Nice. Again. When he comes up, just thinking about making him a little more active. There, good. Like that. Yes. Good job. Now let your rein shorten a little bit. Bring his head up from the stretch. But try to keep the same movement. The only thing that I want to change is just where his head and neck is, that we begin to bring it up without changing the rhythm of the step, like he was able to do on the lunge line there when he came up into a working trot. Doing good here though. That's good. Right there. You come up a little bit right there. Keep it active. And you can see how he gets to a certain point. He kind of wants to stall on you. So that's once again just adding the leg again. Right there. Good. 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 Now stretch him all the way back down again. Very good. Like that. Very nice. Keep that going. And once again, bringing him up from the stretch. So letting your hands just come together in front of you. Good. There we go. Coming nicely. Good job. Picture froze for me for a second there, but it's working out. Right there. Right there. Keep that. Right there. That's going to soften. Right there is what I want. Right there. Good job. Now stretch it all the way down again before he gets a little pissy about it. Good job. Very nice. Keep that swing deeper into the stretch again. Good. Now just let him come back to a walk. And I'm not concerned that he's not at a point where we're worried about the transitions. All we're looking now is just to make a smooth transition. We don't worry about transitions. When he gets steady in the trot and steady in the walk, then we start worrying about transitions. Right now, we're only just worrying about transitions within the gait, going a little faster, a little slower. But we're not at all concerned with whether he stays in the frame in the downward transition and things like that at this point, because he's just not quite ready to hold that yet himself. But that was really good. Keep that big walk going now in the stretch for a moment to give him a little bit of a break. You're doing a great job. Now, it may be because, do you feel like that saddle you're riding in there is a little small for you?
I'm not really sure what it is, but I do feel tipped forward.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so it does look a little bit at times because it's making you sit a little arched back. I have a feeling it's because the size of the saddle for you. So just something to think about. So try to avoid that thing of really trying to really arch your lower back like that, because we'd like to see your seat under you just a little bit more, but I think it's the size of the saddle for you. You know, men have little skinny bony asses, you know. So if you're struggling, that's why. But you're doing a good job. Really like that walk. Let it go all the way down. So when we come back to this, that's so important that we just keep that strength. Remember, every step he takes in the correct frame for his level development means he's developing. If he loses that and we lose the rhythm, we know we're losing the gymnastic quality. In other words, the exercise aren't doing anything for him. He's not building muscle. But the walk will build a lot of muscle all by itself if the horse is working over its back in the walk. Go ahead and take the diagonal now and change the rein and keep that big stretch in the walk going. Good. Now go ahead and turn by the center line, keeping that stretch, and do a leg yield to the left. You're still hearing me okay, aren't you? Yep. For some reason, my camera has frozen, but I'm not worried about it. You don't need to see me. I need to see you. And do a leg yield to the left again, like that. Yeah, nice. And that's just how it should be, leading a little bit with the shoulder. That's just what we want to see. It's good and it's really nice and fluent right there. That's really good. Keep that going. Very nicely done. Really nice. Just like that. That was good. Now stretch him all the way down and lengthen the walk on the next diagonal. Now remember, when you're lengthening the walk, we use our legs alternately. You know that, yes? Yes. So in other words, when we want to trot, we use our legs together. When we want a bigger walk, we just follow that inward swing with our leg. That's what naturally happens. When we follow that inward swing, it actually times the touch of the leg with the hind leg on that same side that's about to step forward. Now go ahead and turn by the center line at this end, and again leg yield to the right. We keep the shoulder over and the neck in line with the body there. Always remember, we never want to bend. When we talk about a horse bending, we're talking about the middle of its back, right under where you sit, not the shoulder. We always want the neck of the horse to be in line with the rest of the spine. We never want to incurve it to the inside. You will see people who think they're suppling their horses, pulling their heads from back and forth, waving them, pulling them all the way around to their leg. That kind of stuff does absolutely nothing at all but disengage the horse's back. Always keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. Really nice there. Good job. Now, how do you feel about, have you tried cantering him?
I haven't, but I'm all right.
Let's see what happens. So let's get back into our trot again. Once again, I'm not worried about, just make the best transition you can. It's a pretty good walk there. Just go ahead and ask him to trot. Don't worry about whether he stays on the bridle or not, because he's not going to at this point. But as soon as he gets up into the trot, then we want to soften and get him swinging back over his back again, getting to stretch back into the contact again. And let's just see, we've been going for a while now, see if he comes back. If he's too resistant, then we might not. Keep that going, just see if we can get that free active trot again before we worry about the canter. Right now he's kind of sucking back on you. Probably thought he was done there. Keep going for a minute, and just keep going till we get him back in the stretch. So we wouldn't want to try the canter till we can get him back in the stretch again in the trot. So we get him really swinging. He's kind of shortened his stride up behind. There you go, like that. And get that to swing through. A little more active. There we go. Keep that, right that. I like that. Good. Now, when we do get into a canter, you know how to do a 2-point position, right, or a 3-point? Yeah, so that's what we'd want to do. So you don't want to sit too deep on his back because the back isn't quite ready for that. So a little back into that stretch again.
Are you saying?
And whenever you're ready, yeah, it's pretty good now. So once you go down the long side, and before the end of the long side there, just ask him to canter, or in the middle of the short side, wherever feels good, if he feels good for it.
2-point in the transition or 2-point after?
Well, kind of, just don't sit too heavily. Just, in other words, I don't want you to sit too heavily on his back. He's not ready for that. but maybe just a little bit. Just try to do it all in one thing. You set your seat into the saddle and ask him to canter. And let's just see whether he will or not for you. At least you got some kind of canter. Wrong lead, but that's all right. Wasn't a bad trend. I'll just bring him back to a trot. No big deal. And then what you did there, once you got into the canter, is just what I want you to do. We don't want to put too much weight on his back. And just ask again. Kind of the same thing you did. Have a little feel of your inside rein when you ask for the canter. Try right now. Who wants to pick up that wrong lead? Go ahead and trot again. And take a moment to stretch him on the circle there again. And when you get back to A, try to ask for the canter again. So the time to ask for the canter would be when, as your seat is going into the saddle. So as you're rising, just as you go in the saddle would be the time. There you go. You got it that time. Good. Now just get off his back a little bit in the 2-point and just let it cruise along. Just like that. That's very good. Just like that. Keep it going. Very nice. I'm happy with that. Now bring him back to a trot. Now stay on your circle there. Bring him back to the trot and stretch in the trot again. Want to come back and reestablish that swing over his back. Let him stretch again when you get to this point. He stays active and happy with it all. Good job there. Good. Yeah, go ahead and go large and change the rein wherever you like. Watch that you're not tipping forward. And go ahead and change the rein on the diagonal. Good, good, very good. And now, same thing we did before. We'll get a stretch in this direction, then we'll ask the canter this way. And just make your circle there. And as you come back to the center of the short side there at A, try to ask him to canter again. Have a little feel of your right rein. The outside leg goes back. Good trot there. And ask him to canter. And then, yeah, right up into a 2-point. Good. Very nice. And let him go large. Like it. Good. And back to a trot. Very nice. And into a nice stretch in the trot now. There you go. Big swinging trot like that. Very nice. Keep that. Really good. Really good. Now remember, you don't try to drop your hands down. Keep your hands up where they belong. You don't ever need to drop your hands down low. Good, like that. Very nice. Just work him into the stretch again. Go on the circle. Always better if he's not stretching to go onto the circle, because then you can get a little more push out of the inside hind leg, like that. Beautiful there. Now let him walk. And just let him stretch out in the walk. Really good job. Excellent. Just make one circle there in that stretch in the walk. Very nice. See if you can get him to stretch a little bit deeper before we stop him. Just really get that stretch out in front of you like that. Very nice. Feel how the walk gets freer there all of a sudden? That's what I want there. Now just ask him to halt and you may dismount. And once again, at this stage, we're not trying to get him to halt in position or halt square or anything. Just let him halt as easy as it comes. And as we begin to close him into the frame, then we'll worry about those kind of things. Great job. Come on over and we'll all talk about it.
Like he's a workout. I'm used to the thoroughbreds.
Exactly. Well, I say, he really went well for you. This horse has had a real, the people who had him before, we saw the video, they were just beating him, and he had just checked out about being ridden. So it's taken a while to get his mind to come back around to out of being a zombie. He was like a zombie horse. You know what I mean? And so same thing. But it's coming. That was really nicely done. I liked everything that you did there. And as I said, I think a bit of your problem was just that saddle is for you a little bit smaller, small for you, so it's tipping. So just beware of that, and beware of keeping your body up and keeping your hands up here. We never want our hands go. You can't see me. I'm sitting here making these gestures, and I realize my camera's off. But the thing is, when they first start trying to put horses on the bridle, they keep trying to hold their hands down low, thinking it's going to make them go loud. It doesn't. It makes them actually resist upwards against your hands. So when they want to bring up, you just follow your hands up as they come up to the same degree, and then but without holding back, but just keeping them in that position. Then when you feel them want to stretch, then you let it down. So you're always rewarding the stretch. Because as well as, when you put your hands down, it puts you always with your shoulders over forward. It kind of puts you in that tipped forward kind of position. And once again, that was the only issue I saw here, but that was because the saddle is a little small for you. But just be aware of it and know that's going. But you did a great job on this horse. I couldn't be happier with how he went for you today. What do you think, Ron? I thought it looked really good.
I thought she did a great job. So
Off to a good.
Yeah, it's a learning curve because it just is with the lunging and everything. But I think Hannah's going to be working him a little bit, in between the lessons and stuff. So I'll be working with her and show her some of the techniques and stuff. So it's awesome. I'm really happy that she's helping out with this. So
excellent. That's really great. Well, are you working with her with the work in hand, helping her to figure that out a little bit?
We'll do that this weekend. We didn't have time last weekend, and my back wasn't really in shape to do stuff. But this weekend I'll be able to do that with her. So.
And of course, with him, I haven't done that much because we kind of stopped doing a little bit of that because his whole thing was just getting this horse moving, and the work in hand was kind of wasn't helping us with him because he just needs to get going and get flowing and that sort of thing and moving. But really great job. Really loved everything I saw today. It was probably the best I've seen him go. And really, also on the lunge line, he came into that really nice working frame when we put the side reins up on top. So that tells you. So what you saw there when he was right is what we're ultimately looking for. He's just not strong enough to, he's just starting now to be able to do that on his own without the weight of a rider. And that's the point of all this work. People have this idea that horses are just these big, strong animals, and you can just get up there and just do whatever you want to do. Horses' backs were never intended for people to be on. So it's all about strengthening them to the point that they can move in the same way as they can move without us up there. That's what our goal is, right? But they got to be able to do it first without you up there. Then they're much more. Hey, they have an understanding of what you're trying to do, but it's not impossible. Whereas a lot of horses, like with him right now, it would just be almost impossible to just jump on him and do that, especially with his tendency to want to stop and everything. All right, you guys, any questions on him today?
No, I think we'll just keep working like we've been.
Great.
Show Hannah what I do in between lessons and stuff. And yeah.
Now we talked about next week. I can't do Wednesday because I've got to go back to the dentist on Wednesday in Mexico. So, is there any other day that would work for you guys next week? Other than any other day is fine with me. Other than Wednesday, I just have to be gone on that particular day.
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday. You guys normally do Thursday. I can do Thursday.
Oh yeah, okay. That would be great. So we'll go back to
Thursday next week. Okay.
For next week. Okay, great job. So we'll take a little moment.
Yep,
I'm sure Calvin.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Great job.
Will, reset your camera, or just turn your camera back on.
Okay.
Should come back on.
Where's my camera? There it is.
Live.
Hello.
You're live, Will.
Okay. Away we go. Come on over and we'll talk about it. Okay. How's it gone this week?
Good. Well, so we did our last lesson on Sunday, so it's only been a couple days.
Yep. It's only been a couple of days, hasn't it?
Yeah. So I wrote them on Monday, and what I did was really focus on just a nice, stretchy, long walk and a lot of
Nice.
because that was probably the longest I've ever worked him on Sunday. And
Yeah.
then yesterday, I didn't have a chance to ride him, so we're back to today. So
Okay.
we'll
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go ahead and start off with the lunging. Sounds good.
Actually nice and warm here today. Did Ron tell you how warm it is?
Yes. Yeah, I had just given a lesson to Dorothea in Marnie in New Jersey. They were all out in shirt sleeves. It was so warm down there.
Yep.
They were complaining about how hot it was.
Yeah, I know it was. It went up into I think the 60s today, actually. I think we're good now, Calvin. Ready? Let's go.
Well, hopefully spring is coming
Yeah.
to us all.
Everyone's been saying.
Karen had a couple of inches of snow yesterday up in Oregon, but it went away happily.
That's good. Just got a twist here. There we go. Okay. I don't know if he's going to. Probably. Yeah, I think he is. Okay, I guess not. Come on. Walk on.
Been so good about that recently.
I know. I really thought he was going to. Come on. Walk on. I think he still has to go. I think for some reason it's taking him a second.
Let him stop again if he wants to. Looks like it's close.
Yeah,
there he goes. Nothing like a good bowel movement, eh, Calvin?
Oh, now that's a normal walk.
That's more like it.
Walk. There's all of a sudden a lot of noise going on outside because it's really windy. That's all that was.
That's all right. Just go ahead and trot. It's all right.
And trot. And trot. It's been windy here all day. And trot.
Yeah, it was really windy while I was working with them in New Jersey there.
Oh, same thing. Yeah. Were they working out or in?
Outside at Marnie's place. I think that's the only place they have to work at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's looking more like it. Keep that going. Very nice. You can get just a little bigger trot out of him.
Trot. Big trot. Big trot.
And go ahead and canter.
Ready? Canter. Canter.
Let's keep that going for a moment.
Come on. Good boy.
Keep it. And now come back to a trot. Mm-hmm. Okay, good. And go ahead and let him walk, and you can change directions.
I think we're getting an element of the old Calvin because it's hot.
Go ahead and ask him to trot. Yeah, he seems a little more reluctant today.
And trot.
That's getting better. And just see if you can make that trot a little bigger. You can get a little more out of him. Yeah, that's more like it. And go ahead and ask him to canter.
And canter. Come on. Canter.
Keep that going. Better. And back to a trot. The belly's starting to pull up there a little bit now. That's looking better. As you come back to the center line, you can go ahead and halt and put the side reins on. You can just stay in the direction you're going here, is fine.
Okay.
That's getting better. Good there. And go ahead and trot.
And trot. Trot.
Good. That's getting there. Just a little more active so you can get a little more power in it. Canters a little bit, no big deal. Now asking back to the trot.
And trot. And trot.
There. That. Now bring him a little closer to you and work him a little, see if you can get a little stronger trot out of him. Yielding his hindquarters a little bit more. Keep him in about 5 feet on your side, so we're in about a 15-meter circle. Good, that's better. There, good, that's getting better. Ask him to canter again.
Canter. Come on. Canter.
Keep that going. Now come back to trot. And once again, bringing him on a little smaller circle, pushing the hindquarters out a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, good. Keep that. There. Keep that going. As you come back to the center line there, you can let him halt and change directions. Certainly getting much better in his transitions.
Yeah, I think he's kind of tired today.
Yeah, it looks a little that way. Yeah, not quite as energetic as last time we saw him. So we'll just get it going on the other direction before we exhaust him. He actually looks a little fatter today.
Does he?
Yeah, a little bit. We've got looks a little bloaty in his stomach there a little bit.
I don't doubt.
Not terrible. We've seen it much worse.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I think they find the littlest tiny bit of grass now that the snow melted.
Yep. And they chow down. And go ahead and trot. Keep that. Very nicely. Ask him to canter. Better keep it going. Now ask him back to the trot. Good. And now bring him on that little bit smaller circle. Try to yield his hindquarters a little bit more to the outside. Just try to move his hindquarters a little bit more if you can. Now keep a little contact with the line when you do that, otherwise he just throws his shoulder out as well. Bring him a little closer to you again. And you yield the hindquarters a little more. There. Again, pushing the hindquarters out a little more active. Yeah. Better. Again, still yielding the hindquarters a little more. He's still wanting to really pull his shoulders to the outside there. And once again, you've got to have contact with the line, otherwise he's just going to throw his shoulder out. So the line has to keep him from pulling the shoulders to the outside when you push his hindquarters to the outside. So you've got to have a little contact there. That's getting better. There, like that. Good. There, now we're starting to get there. Good. Next. And let's let him walk. And you can go ahead and halt. Let's get on. I think it will start to be diminishing returns if we keep doing that.
Yeah.
I say being a little tired today comparatively.
I think the weather probably makes a big difference to them. The fact
Oh, it
that
does. Absolutely. I mean, change of 20 or 30 degrees in temperature, huge difference. We had 80 degrees here last week.
wow.
Out of nowhere. Now it's back down to, it's in the 50s.
Yeah.
But when it's just been 80, all of a sudden 50 feels like you're freezing.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I feel like I was outside earlier today with just a sweater on, and I was fine. We're really lucky. We only had one really big drop, although a lot of people here kind of get upset about the fact that our winters are like that now. I understand.
Yep.
It's a little frustrating, but at the same time, I'll take it in a way.
Yep. Well, I didn't the groundhog say it's going to be 6 more weeks of winter?
I don't even know, did he?
Yeah, I think he did when he came out a couple of weeks ago. Potsafani Phil or whatever it is.
I didn't hear much about it this year.
I just caught it, a glimpse of it. And I think it was a couple of weeks ago, a week ago or something. Not that I believe anything of that, but you never know.
It's kind of fun anyway.
Yeah. After the fact, you never hear anybody talking about, well, I guess Potsafani Phil or whatever. I'm not sure what that first word is. Potsatani, something like that. After the fact, they don't talk about it. So I never hear anybody catch up, 6 weeks later. Was he right or not?
The saddle is not as far back as it normally is for me. Like I feel like it's a little bit on my shoulders. Take a second here.
Mhm.
Okay. There we go.
And just go large in that walk, letting them stretch out in front of you. Not bad. Good. And when you get to this end, you can go ahead and turn by the center line and leg yield to the right.
Very sticky.
Ask for a little more stepping over. This is the direction he's a little harder in. Get him a little more off your leg. Back it up with your whip a little bit. And go ahead and do that one again down the center line. Yeah, if we get that time. Go ahead and change across the next diagonal. And go ahead and turn by the center line and leg yield to the left. Good. This way is always a little bit easier for him. There we go. Good, like that. Keep that going. Very nice. Good. Now, since he's a little slower, a little less active today, we're just going to go right into a trot rather than try to bring him up in the walk before we do that. So whenever you're ready there, you can just go ahead and trot.
And drop.
And go in a big circle there in the center and just go ahead and get your stretch going on the circle there before we bother with anything else.
Come on.
We'll tap your whip there and see if we can liven him up a little bit. And just going to stay on your circle. Feel like he wants to walk again. And again, trot if you can.
Trot.
Good. And just keep opening that up, a little more active still. Just generating some more power from behind. And go ahead and try to lengthen the stride down the next long side. Straight, there you go, good. Straighten him out. Just go large around the arena. Just get him moving around, going large, straight ahead for you. There you go, like that. And just keep that going. See if you can lengthen down this long side. Just think about getting him lengthening. It's all about getting him moving enough to be able to work with something. Have something there to work with. Keep that going. And lengthen again down this long side. Put a little more power in it. That's better. And now circle there at E. Now go ahead and bring your hands together in front of you with a little shorter rein contact. And just keep him there for a moment and see if we can get him to just power up into that a little bit more. Staying on your circle there. Yeah, it's getting better. Good. And keep him, so rather than stretching, I want to keep him up now for a minute. So we add a little more power to it. And go large again. Just keep him there, about midway down. Keep it active. Go ahead and turn by the center line, leg yield to the left. Do that again at this end, just turning by the center line, leg yielding to the left. Step over a little more, good. Now lengthen down the next long side. And once again, just keeping about where he is right there. Don't let him stretch all the way down, but just keep it about there, just keeping the power in it. So you're not trying to hold him up there, but at the same time, we're not asking for the deep stretch. We get more power in. Now a little bit of a lengthening here. A little tap with the whip. Push your seat through. Good. Like that. Much better now. Good. Keep that. Large again. And change the rein across the next diagonal. Not bad, it's getting better. Go ahead and change your whip when you can there. Good. Turn after the center line up here and leg yield to the right. And now circling here. Now let him have the stretch all the way down, but make him lengthen around the circle in the stretch so you can get a little more out of him. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Now we're getting something good. Keep that. Much better now. Keep it. Like that. Good job. Good. Yeah. Now go large. And if he stays there, I'd be happy. Look back and just do what you're doing there. Good job. Good. And now go ahead and bring his pole up a bit now. Just shortening your range, trying to keep the exact same trot. Nothing else is changing. All I want you to do is just bring his head up from the stretch. Go into a circle there. Right there is about right for right now. Little tap again. Keep him right there. Good. Now circle there in the center. Keeping that. Good. Better. And keep that going. His belly's coming up now finally. There we go. And circling there, bring his forehand to the inside, bring his forehand more to the left, let your hands come to the left a little bit. As your inside leg brings the hindquarters to the outside a little more. There you go, it's getting better, keep that. And now go large. That. In the middle of the short side, ask him to canter. Now remember, you ask for the canter as you sit into the saddle on the rising trot. Is the moment to ask. Just a little feel of your inside rein, outside leg goes back, and ask him to canter. And you can say canter to him. Good, very good. Go large, keep that. Circle if you like. Good. And back to a trot before he loses it. There's a good upwards transition. Now balance him again on your circle there. And onto a circle there. Again, thinking a little shoulder 4 on your circle. And go large and shoulder 4 down the next long side. Good, that's getting better. Good. Soften right there. Very good job. Right there. Very nice. Change the rein across the next diagonal. And shoulder 4 down the next long side. That's getting better now. Nice, good job. Turn by the center line and leg yield to the left. It's only a few strides, it's good. Good. At A, ask him to canter in this direction and circle. Pull up, about there. Don't.
Canter.
And now slow down, slow down. Don't try to run him into it. If you don't get it right away, just slow back down and get a little more power. Go back and try again. I'll move his hindquarters over a little bit. And use your voice command. Just say canter at the moment that you're going to ask for it. Just a little feel of your inside rein. Side leg is back. There you go. You got it. And circle there. Good job. That one circle will be enough. When you get back to the middle of the short side, just go ahead and ask him to trot again. Back to a trot. You're doing a great job with that. Good boy. Now, on your circle there. Now see if you'll stretch all the way down for you deep. Nice, much better now. There we go, good, keep that. Excellent. Now bring them back up on the circle, developing the working trot. Keep the trot just where it is. The only thing I want to change is we're just bringing his pole up into position right there. Good. And next time around, circle go large and then shoulder forward down the next long side. Good, very nice there, much better, much better. Now change the rein across the diagonal. Shoulder forward down the next long side. Use the shoulder forward to bring his pole up a little, keep a little more power in it. Balance him there, good. Lengthen the stride rising down the next long side. Again, think of adding a little impulsion before you get there and then letting it go forward. Adding a little bit of leg touch of your whip and push your seat through to open that stride up, like that. And circle at A again. Every circle feels a little bit like a leg yield. Every circle is a bit of a leg yield. Bring the forehand a little to the inside, haunches a little to the outside. Balance him in that position. And when you get back to A, ask him to canter again. Everything has to happen. Build a little more energy in him now. Give him a little tap before you ask. And then use your voice command, sit and canter. Good job, and circle. Very nice. When you get back to A again, trot. You get through that corner without breaking. Good job, and trot. Now, right away in the circle there again. Let him stretch all the way down now. Good job. Very nice. Very nice. And bring him back up and shoulder forward down the next long side. Good job. Ask him to soften just a little bit, using your fingers there a little bit to close on the reins. Good. And change the rein across the diagonal. And again, shoulder forward down the next long side. Yeah, right there. Good, good. Really nice. Right there. Keep that. Now circle here. Try to keep that balance. Keep them up in the pole a little bit there. Think of bringing the forehand a little to the inside of your circle and the hindquarters a little bit to the outside of your circle every time. Stretch up. Ask him to soften just a little bit more to the jaw and pole there. Keep it up. There you go, like that. Good job. Very nice. Keep it there. Now go large again. When you get back to A, again, canter and circle.
Canter. Canter. Oh, I didn't get it.
Right, go ahead and circle again. You don't get too flat. Now, once again, try to slow it a little bit, but get a little more energy in it. So slow it a little bit, but don't let it die. There you go. Good job. Very nice. Circle. Keep that circle there this time. Good, good. Bring his pole up from the stretch a little bit. Bring him up. And back to a trot again when you get to A. And right away, shoulder 4 down the next long side. And right away, use the shoulder 4 to balance him again. Get it back up underneath you. Good. Now circle right there in the center and let him stretch all the way down now. Big stretch in the trot. Keeping that power in it. Good, really nice, like that. Excellent now. Good, excellent, right there, really good. Very nice work. Now bring his pole up again on the circle. Develop your working trot. Think about bringing him a little more shoulder 4 as you bring him up. The reins come a little bit to the inside. You can ask him to soften a little bit. Keep the power. There you go. Good. Right there. Keep that. Very nicely done. Keep it there. And again, go large in the trot now. Balance him, and this time when you get back to A, you're going to canter again, and this time you're going to go large if you get the canter. Think of adding a little power before you ask for it, rather than trying to push it out once you get there.
I don't really have it in me.
That's okay. Make a circle again. That's all right. Make a circle again. Stretch up and give him a little tap with your whip and bring him, slow it down, but try to keep the power underneath you. So he doesn't just flatten out. Keep it up there. Keep it up there. And try again, right there. Next time you just got a little too flat. Try it again. Go from the shoulder 4. That's like that. You know, he's getting too flat, so you got to slow it down a little bit now and try to keep a little power in it. So as soon as he starts to run, you're not going to get it. As soon as you get that way, you got to slow it down and get a little power in, going slower, like that. Try again. And when I say try again, I mean in the same place. So come back to the same place each time. Now slow it down. Give him a little tap with your whip on the inside there. Stretch up. Use your reins a little bit to soften him a little bit and slow it down and balance him. Now, there you go, just like that. Did it that time. Now, whoop, fell out of it a little bit, but let's try it again. It was a good. It started good. But once again, think what you did. Slow it down and then get more power in it. Give him a little tap, but don't let it run. There you go. Good, good, good. Now see if you can go large this time. Keep it going.
I don't have it in me, and I don't think he does either.
Okay, that's all right. Just try. You're all right. You're all right. All right. All right. Let's just let him have a stretch then. Let him have a stretch then.
I just feel like I'm working so hard to keep him there.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I'm fine. I mean, we did a lot of these. We've never done this many before. Keep that trot. And let him keep that stretch in the trot. And just forget about the canter for a minute. Just keep that big stretch in the trot like that. Now we'll do something a little different. So go large, and this time in the stretch, I want you to lengthen the stride down the next long side. Good. Now bring up on a circle there. So bring his pole up now in the circle. We've got some pretty good power. Let's see if we can get back to a working trot again. Good. I think I'm getting a little bit more shoulder 4. There you go. Good job. There you go. Shorten your reins just a little more. Just hands out in front of you. There you go. Now you're getting there. Now try to slow it a little bit, but yet keep the power in it. So stretch up, slow down the rhythm of your rising trot a little bit. Balance there. Good. That's getting better. Keep it there. Keep it there. Keep it there. We go like this. Good job. Keep that. Keep it. There. There we go. Right there. That's what I want to see. Right there. Keep those hands right where they are. Don't let them start to flatten out. So analyze every step you're taking. Is he starting to just sort of disappear out from under me? Is it getting flatter, or I'm feeling the wave maintaining the form, so to speak, like a surfer, like the wave carrying you towards the beach. Really good there. Nice job. Like that. Now ask him to walk. And let him stretch out in the walk from home. That was good. I got to a really good place there.
Yeah, I did.
How are you? How are you feeling? Are you feeling like I've killed you here, or you got a little left in you?
I think I'm kind of burned out, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. That's good. We can stop with that today. But it got to a really good place. And once again, this is how, a horse like this is going to be a little different from day to day,
Yeah.
Doing
I
a great
just feel
job
like
with him. But
it's one of those days where I'm back to like really pushing him hard because he's just doesn't
yeah,
move, you know.
exactly. And it's been like that since the beginning. But you got him to a good place. So I think that's a place where we can stop right there if you'd like. I think I'd be okay with that. So we did a lot of canter transitions today. A lot of them were really good.
Yeah, they
And
were
of course, once again, like anything, anybody, as a coach, I'm going to push you beyond your limits a little bit. Always within, trying not to get you killed at the same time, but always pushing what you can do. That's what my job is, to make you work a little harder than you want to sometimes, and the next time it will seem a lot easier.
I think today I just had I don't know. I didn't sleep well at all last night. I was saying to Ron, I was like, oh, I don't even know if I can do a lesson. So I think this was a good call to end on a good note.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was good. It got to a good place. You worked him through his. He wasn't in that, like last time. He was just so ready to go and had so much power there. He definitely started off a little sleepier than he's been. Like last time he came out, he pooped right away, and away he went. And he was ready to do his thing. So there are going to be days like that.
Yeah, actually, it was really
especially
good
when you're cool.
Walk me, like get me through it again, because on a day like this, it gets like when I'm on my own, I'm like, oh, I'll just get to like one little nice trot and I'll be done. You know what I mean? But we went with.
And sometimes that's good, but on the other hand, it's like coaching anything else. You can run 1 mile, well, I got to start pushing you to 1.5 miles, and it may hurt the next day a little bit or something. You know what I mean? Not hurt, but you get the idea. You know what I'm talking about. All right, but I was happy where he got to. I mean, for him being a little less impulsive than he was the last time, he still got to a good place for it. He got acting, was coming in. We didn't quite get the big working trot that we got out of him the last time, but it was right there under the skin. We didn't have to work for it. And when it's right, you don't have to work for it that hard. But on the other hand, other days you have to do things like this where that's why I went to the cantering. Well, let's do the cantering. That's something a little bit different instead of trying to get him to hold his frame together, something that he'd have to do. And he did that well. He did a lot of good transitions. So that's all coming really nicely. All right, you guys, questions today?
No.
Well, I couldn't be happier with Rod. I saw Ron. Ron, I think that went very well with Hanna riding your horse. Yep. I think that all came together. He looked energetic today and really happy and all good. So I think it's a good team effort.
Yeah, she's going to ride him for 2 days a week and then a lesson, so 3 days a week, until I get back in the saddle again. So
right. I think that's a fantastic idea. And I liked everything she did. As I said, the only thing that was you could see how the saddle was a little small for her. That's why she was pitching forward a little bit.
Yeah.
That makes a big difference. But it's your saddle, not hers. So, she's got to do the best that she can. Exactly. I just wanted to point it out to her.
And we talked a little bit about it, too. She's been kind of struggling because she used to do polo when she was in high school. So she's got that, I want to lean forward. So she's trying to get back to more of a relaxed seat.
Yeah.
So
get back, but she has a little tendency. She's arching her lower back too much.
Yeah.
In other words, her bum is coming this way, and it needs to come under her a little bit more. But I was saying that could be the size of the saddle too.
Yeah. So we're gonna work on Saturday. She's gonna come, and I'm gonna show her how to do it handwork and work on the lunging and stuff like that. So it'll be good. I'm really excited. She's totally stoked for it too. So she's really super interested. So
seems like a nice girl. All good. All right. Well, I'll see you guys. So we're back on Thursday next week.
Yeah,
Thursday 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Same time, 3 o'clock. Or 3 o'clock your time,
right,
6 o'clock our time.
Yeah, 3 o'clock my time. Right, of course.
Great. Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a great week. See
Talk to you soon.
Bye. Dude.
My God, look at him. He's all sweaty. Was Duke this sweaty?